We're rolling. We are back. We are back. We're back. With our weekly reading. I don't know if you can hear King sucking his thumb. It's cute. Hold on. I knocked it by accident. Okay, we're back. And we're back in the home. Last time we had our weekly intuitive reading, it was in Prospect Park. And I was going to do that again, but it's been cold, and it said it's gonna be 77 tomorrow, but I don't believe that. Like, it's gonna be like a fall 77. And I'm like, I like being at home. And I'm like, just do it. But what I was saying was, I don't know if you can hear King sucking his thumb. It's cute, but he needs to stop soon. All right, let's get it together. Weekly intuitive tarot reading for the week of the 20th to, or I should say 21st. What have I been doing? Have I been like including the day that ends the last reading? Like last week it was the 13th to 20th, and then I think I have been including that day. It's fine. The 20th to the 27th, Wednesday to Wednesday. Just the upcoming week. I guess you can watch these. You can watch these whenever. Honestly, you know they like to say these readings are timeless, and sometimes they are. But we're in this time right now. The stars are doing what they're doing right now. So use your discernment. But we're back. It's been such a crazy turn of events. I've been having the most outrageous downloads, which are amazing, of course, but the downloads and experiences and uploads, which is great, but oh, my grandmother. Ooh, my towel decks. I'm trying to turn it around because it's the wrong way. So yeah, let's get started. It's been kind of weird, especially the past couple days. Honestly, the last 24 hours. My book's so cute. Very weird, but c'est la vie, right? Such is life. And like we here. So I'm gonna do tarot. Am I in the mood for? Let's do Modern Witch as our base today. Ooh, bottom of the deck is Strength. Okay. Hello. Just based off the bottom of the deck. Just based off the bottom of the deck. Find your strength. Making space over here. Which I should have did before, but I didn't think about it. Find. For Samhain. Find your strength. Channel it. Empower yourself. Find your empowerment. There is no point in being in perpetual sadness and distress. Once it serves its purpose, let it go. Because honestly, although we have an understanding of all energy flows and stuff like that, and we're not running from our pain, our heavy thoughts. We are one with our demons. Although we're doing that, we're also still beings created by God and only created by God through love. So come on now, find your strength. It's the Empress in reverse. And this is where we begin. I'm just like throwing the cards around. But yeah. Page of Cups. For so long you have accepted the bare minimum from everybody. And when I say the bare minimum, I mean like these people, not all people are intentionally offering you the bare minimum. Sometimes it's all they have. And just because that's all they have to give you does not mean that that is what you are deserving of, or that you really want, or that like, you don't have to accept it. The Emperor. You don't have to accept it. This is a great card because I like the city view and I like the Ankh. What do you call that when they have like, is it a staff? Is it a staff? You know, the wizards walk around with one of these and the king has one with him. It's short though. I thought it was long. But I like those two things about it because it makes you think about like ruling your world, ruling your mind type of thing. And it's a constant fight. It's a constant fight. And here, let me talk about this one thing that I was thinking about this morning. I was taking a shower. And you think about in the macro sense of this, and then we can get into the micro sense. But in the macro reality, what we are witnessing is a energy battle, and this is why they say World War III is spiritual, and this war that we're having right now is a spiritual war. Because what's happening is that the old dogma, my dream candle just like it's like sparking smoke right now. My dream candle. So pay attention to your dreams. Hold on, let me check on it. Yep, it's talking. So pay attention to your dreams. It's dancing a lot. All of them are actually. And I'll share them on my Instagram because there are 3 herbal mixes that I made for my regular 7-day burning candles that I put on my altar. And I think I want to offer that to you guys because sometimes like the candles get really hard to make. With like shipping, every piece of it is challenging. So I had to step back a little bit. I know the people who like my faithful people's customers, clients, been asking me for so long, but I'm like, oh, man, it's so hard to do. And then another thing is that the store that I used to get the candles from, the core of the candle, they used to have like all colors for like $2. I used to get so many, and I didn't have to get so many of the same color, but the only other company that sells the candles that I can use for my candles sells them in like a big pack for a big amount of, for a large number of money, for more money. And I'm like, I don't have the storage space for it. Like, it's just so many different factors that go into making my candles where I'm like, I can wait to come back around to it. It's fine. But if you have your, like, if you go and buy 7-day candles from the Botanica, I like the herbal mix that I make, it looks something like this. This is a spell, but it looks something like this. You can put it in your candle at home. And I have 3 different ones right now, and they all are energetically different, and I love that. Like, the herbal mixtures I make are like, okay, chef's kiss. But anyway, what I was saying was that what we are warped in right now, with the war that we're experiencing right now, is the war between the old dogma, the old indoctrination, the old way of living, the tradition, the old. And when we think about in the macro, I'm thinking about the president and the laws of the world and the democracy that we're under, like the government, like all those things. You think about it. Old white men are our presidents. Since when have old white men represented progression in general? Whether it was the focus of the people or not, it was never, and that's why we've been doing the same thing for so long, right? It's the fight against the old way up against the new progressive way. And so the new progressive way is trying to make its way through the door. It's literally like a Trojan war. The new progressive way is at the door with the fucking fake Trojan horse trying to get in. Because y'all are tripping. Okay? That's what it is. The old way of thinking, and this is literally macro sense in the, let's look at the government, let's look at all the power plays that we have going on right now, right? Macro sense. The old way of thinking, tripping. Internally, the old way that you think, tripping. It's gonna leave you in a fucking stagnant loophole, fucking warp, time warp. The old way that you think. You literally have to be in constant renewal of the mind in order to progress. There is no way that you can take something, integrate it into your knowledge, and sit on that. You have to literally alchemize it. You have to. That's progression. It doesn't stop. It does not stop. It's an upward spiral. It's ascension. Literally. So that the war is between the ascension and the stagnation. Not even just descension, because I always say descension, but that's not even a word. But it's ascending and descending. But I'm gonna probably end up saying descension because it just like comes out that way. So bear with me. You know what I mean. Is I ascension against a descension? No, because those two are the same. You can go up and down, and that's fine. It's not. It's ascension and old way of thinking. What's the word that I just used? Damn it. I just used it. Remind me. Comment below and tell me what word I used. Ascension and stagnation. Because stagnation has its own frequency. And it has its own opposing energy. And I would probably call that, what's the opposite of stagnant? Progressive, maybe? I don't know. It's like a fucking six-way reality here. It's crazy. And so the old way of thinking is what's going to keep you straight behind, all the way behind. This goes for 4 cups. Tried to peek through. I missed the bottom of the deck. I think it was 8 or 9 of wands, I believe. This is forceful. Like, I feel the energy. So currently right now the moon is in Aries, right? It's growing into a full moon. The full moon is tomorrow. Between today, tomorrow, and Thursday. The full moon is in Aries. 9 of Cups came out. Great. The full moon is in Aries. So, because we're in Libra season. So, I feel it. I'm like, as my moon is in Sagittarius, and I feel like fighting. And I felt like this like a few days ago, and I remember walking down the street like, why I feel like fighting? And I feel like that sometimes, like just internally. And I have no real reason or anything. I mean, you could always conjure up a reason, but I really have no real reason. Just feel like fighting, and like my speech is faster. The energy inside of me is like burning up. Last card, 9 of Cups. This is what it feels like internally when I say I want to fight. Like I'm like sitting in front of all my things, and I'm just like, literally, what? Fucking what? Endings, 9 cups twice up here. So your emotional space is highly integrated. So it's so interesting because I'm going to show you. The cups are on the, it's like a sandwich, right? The cups are on the outside, and this is your emotional space. And then in the right smack dab in the middle is your emperor, and she has on this red suit. And it's like your emotions is sandwiching your aggression. So it feels like you have this like power source like driving you, but you're not like projecting it or anything, because you know, like, it's like a fuel. We talked about fuel last week. That was weird, right? We talked about fuel last week. So the ego is the fuel. Ego is the fuel. The ego knows how to find the fuel in order to progress you, move you forward. have a money jar. I'm trying to find it in my mind, but I can't find it. But anyway, the ego is the fuel. The ego is the fuel. It's like your motivation, your ambition. That's why those words, when you think of those words, discipline, determination, ambition, dedication, motivation, and then think about Nipsey Hussle, because that's like the music artist that I hear him use those words a lot. And those words are, he's a Leo too. Those words are fire. They invoke fire inside of you, literally. All in the core. I'm sorry if I just did this and if it was offensive, because I know this is sign language, it means something. But I just thought as I did it, but like, I'm just using my hands. But that's fire. Right in the middle of your emotional space. So it's like your motivator. Use your fire for good. No revenge. You can feel like you want to be vengeful. Afro-Brazilian tarot. You can feel like you want to be revengeful, because that's what happens with mishandled anger, misunderstood anger. Is that you wanna release by causing harm to the other, just so you can balance the scales. It's like it's a balancing, which is why, like, it's so interesting, because when people talk about God and they talk about Lucifer and the devil, they usually put God and Satan in the same category as opposing energies, but that is not the case. Like, God is literally above Satan, because God created Satan, because Lucifer is a fallen angel, one of God's angels. God created that energy. So it can feel like it's a balancing of the scales when you are vengeful, you know, when you try to express your anger through vengeance and revenge. But it's not. The higher energy is forgiveness and love. It literally is. Like, I'm saying this, and of course I'm human, I have to work on it. Everything I say I have to work on too. This is a spiritual journey. It's ongoing. It doesn't stop. It's ongoing. It does not stop. But that's the higher frequency is forgiveness and love, not vengefulness. Vengefulness comes from, it's a creation of the creator. You want to be like the creator. That's ascension. You don't want to continue to be like the creation. To be the creation. Be in the energy of creation. You want to be greater than. All these cards fell out. I'm going to take all of them because this is a good story. So the first card we have is the Wheel. Nine of Cups again, bro. Oh no, this is Nine of Pentacles. I was about to say, oh my god. When cards come out more than once in a reading, it's a good thing. I love it. The Wheel is first. We're clarifying here. And the Nine of Pentacles. And I'm gonna talk about those two before I move on, because we're clarifying in order, and this would be clarifying the Page of Cups. You have to create your own reality by alchemizing what you already know and ascending like you have to. That's the only way that you're ever going to see any results in your life. It's the only way you're ever going to, that's the only way you're ever going to see results in your life, is if you create your own reality. There's no way that other people affecting you, other people like having their opinions and trying to sway what you're doing, other people trying to sway what you're doing, or inputting things that just like don't resonate with you. You can sometimes, taking advice and taking feedback is important. You have to be able to do that. But it's a certain like line, and you need to understand your emotional space. We talked about this last time. Your neutral 0 point. You need to understand you in order for you to know when something resonates or when it doesn't. This is why tarot readers say, if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't resonate, not everything's going to resonate with you. not everything's going to resonate with you. So when people are giving their opinion or their feedback and you feel it inside of yourself where it's like, I know where this is coming from, or I know what makes sense to me right now, and I hear you and I appreciate you sharing your insight. I always appreciate it. But you have to discern for yourself, because you are the only creator of your reality. There's no one who can create your reality. No one knows who you are. There was a video I watched yesterday. No one knows what you are. Will Smith. He was saying you cannot expect people to understand the vision. You cannot expect people to understand your calling. It's not for them to understand. They need to understand their own. So the expectation, out the window. Out the fucking window, in the garbage, in the trash. Looking for this other outstanding support or other outstanding understanding outside of yourself is deadly. You will literally not get anywhere. It will literally hurt your feelings. You will be in perpetual pain. No, we're not doing that no more. Create your own reality. So we have 2 9s here, which is beautiful. Our numbers are very high. We have a 5 2 at some point, but it's in reverse. So, and we're taking reversals in the expansion. I love in this 9 of Pentacles, the roots shooting out of the tree. You've overstayed your welcome. You're outgrown your thinking. You've outgrown your whatever. You've outgrown it. This tree needs to be in the ground. This tree needs to be... So look at this. I think about this too for my lemon tree plant, because I've had it since it was a seed. I think my mom started growing it and gave it to me. I had it since it was a seed, and it has expanded so crazy. Like, I wish I could take a picture, but the pictures just do not suffice at all. But I had to get a pot to put on the floor. And I keep saying to myself, like, so this is the thing that I've grown to understand about trees, is that for as big as the tree is 10, 20 feet tall. The roots are 10 to 20 feet deep. I haven't proven that anywhere scientifically with any Google knowledge, but it makes sense. How can anything less than support such a massive structure? You know what I mean? And so I think about that for my plant. Like, at some point I'm gonna have to put this tree in the ground. And when you look at this photo, the pot is not that big. It's really not that big when you look at the ground that it's laying on. Like, look how far the roots can go if it was in the ground. And if it stays in this too long, if it stays in this pot too long, it's going to burst, and I feel like it's growing slower. At some point it has to stop because it's in containment. That's crazy. It's in containment. So if it's contained, if it's not free flowing, if it's not allowed to expand at its own rate with no interruption, with no limitation, it's gonna be stagnant. It's gonna be stumped in growth. It's time to put the tree, time to put the roots in the ground. We always talk about planting your seeds, but we hardly ever, the common, like, most talked about conversation is hardly ever about the roots and what has grown. There's a lot of us who have a lot of 10 to 20 foot trees in our lives. Manifestations. These things grow from seeds. There's a lot of us who have 10 to 20 feet tall and deeply rooted manifestations in our lives right now. That we could be so focused on manifesting the new, planting the new seed, because we are like, progression. I understand it. We need to constantly move forward. Yes, we talked about this just 10 minutes ago. Yes, moving forward. But what about tending to the roots that are already there, the trees that are already there? Paying attention to those things, adding love to that. So this card can be indicative of that too. Because what he's placing down here is not fruit from his basket. It can be, you can perceive it as seeds or as rocks or as coins, whatever it is, but he's more focused on what's happening in front of him and not focused on replanting the fucking tree. He needs to replant the tree. He's not paying attention to it. His back is turned to it. He's not looking at it. It's time for us to look at our tree. And it's so funny because with these two cards, it's like literally this entity brought him brought him that gold to focus on. Sometimes the gold that we're trying to manifest is a distraction. Sometimes the goal we're trying to manifest is a distraction from what's really important or what really needs to be prioritized. So if you find yourself constantly in a despair or in a mental cycling of like trying to upgrade, this is a good time for you to take a moment and to sit with what you already have. We're moving into, so this video is going to be up during the transition. Actually, it's starting now. Goodbye Libra season, hello Scorpio season is what I'm trying to say. So we're leaving Libra season, now we're going to Scorpio season. And Scorpio season is fun and beautiful because it's the season of water, and Scorpio is the ocean depth. Like Scorpio is the land that critters walk on at the bottom of the ocean. We have no idea what the fuck is going on down there. We don't. And if we do, good fucking luck. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on at the literal bottom of the ocean, that's Scorpio. And so this is like the literal like core of the earth, the where the roots end in a 10 to 20 year old 20-foot tree. Hundreds of year old 20-foot tree type of thing. Where those roots end is like the bottom of the ocean for a Scorpio type of thing. The depth, the soul of something, the core, the very like bottom, the bottom of your heart type of thing. I love you from the bottom of my heart. That place, you know what I mean? This is a good time to be focused on those roots, going into your deep Scorpio. It could be so dark, it's crazy. And then the next card we have to clarify on top of the Emperor is the Ten of Cups, which I love because the Ten of Cups is like, hallelujah, thank you, all these things I have to offer, all of these things I have to offer. Look at it, it's beautiful. I thank you. All of these things I have to offer. When you're assessing what you already have, when you assess what you already have, pay attention to what you have and tend to it, that's where your gratitude grows. Your gratitude is like, wow, look at all the things that we have going on here. We almost fucking missed it, being upset about what the things that we don't have, the energy that we're not yet. You know what I mean? Because it's not about having things. When I say having things, I mean like the mentality, I mean the spiritual space, I mean the tangibles, all the different types of things that we are like manifesting towards us. All the different types of energy that we are calling to us is what I mean when I say having things, you know? So we're moving into, okay, so this is wonderful. So the Emperor is clarified by the Ten of Cups, and then we're moving into the Nine of Cups. So these three are clarifying the end of the energy. Five of Swords in reverse and Queen of Swords in reverse, which is nice because what's happening here is that there's less focus on, so if we're leaving Libra season, the mind, the air, and we're moving into Scorpio season, the feels, right? We have all these cups here. 3 cups now. This is the highest, is the most frequent element in the reading. So cups. We're moving from mental agilities and dexterities and bondage and all of that, and now we're moving into emotional space. So less thinking, less conflict. We have the Five of Swords, and the Five of Swords was here a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago maybe, a couple readings ago. it's in reverse. It's wonderful. I know sometimes I like to say not to take reversals, but energetically it's a good time to take them, and it's only 2, so that's fine. Sometimes like I'll watch a reading and there's like all reversals, and I'm like, shuffle your deck and flip it over and do it again, because that's strange. But sometimes the energy is just that. Less thinking, less mental bondage, less like it's time to just start to feel what the fuck is going on and trusting how you feel. If there's any water in your natal birth chart, find it, channel the planet that it embodies, channel the energy that it. Your intuition is on point. Your intuition is on point. Like, there is no like, oh, I don't know. Like, there's no such thing as I don't know. If you can say I don't know, that means that along a line somewhere, you know. You just have to sit and think about it. You just have to sit and think about it for a moment. The answer is there. So we read your chart, and let's say for me, my sun is in Cancer, so my sun sign, my sun is in Cancer. Think about what the sun represents. The sun is like your ego, your first face. The sun is your power source. The sun illuminates. The sun is masculine. The sun is your fueling planet. Your fueling luminary, I should say. Your fueling star. It literally gives life. So if it's in Cancer, that's my emotional space too. And so my emotional space gives me life. You know what I mean? It's my identity. It's my fuel. It's this, is that, whatever I come to, based on the resonance. So you have water in your moon, you have water in your Venus, you have water in your Mars. Like, look at your natal chart and see where it comes from, and think about what that planet represents. Maybe I'll do a video on like planetary like representations or whatever, because it's not complicated. Like, there are baseline things that you can like Google and learn about online, but it's not secret knowledge. Like, channel your energy, your intuition within, and it'll tell you. We're literally in play with these energies all day, every day, since, not even since we were born. Before that, we come from this. It is, what's happening up there is happening down here. As above, so below. We know what this is. We're so connected to it. It's just a matter of taking the time to channel that intuition and that power within you and that ancient knowledge. Okay, Akashic records. Okay. Take the time. But now we're in a space where we're not using the mind so much. Now we're going to get into our emotional space. I'm going to clarify one more time because I like doing that. And I'm going to use my gold deck because I keep seeing it in my my sponsored post. And it's black owned. It's so cute. Black gold. I think it's black gold Instagram. Like, on Instagram it's black gold. I don't remember. I should probably I'll probably link them. Hey. Sun is up. I'll link them below so that you can get some, because it's black owned. And they're really cool. It's just a 52 card deck. Like, you can do anything with them. You can, like, I'm just using it for tarot because I like to, but you can play cards. Okay. The lighting is like weird now. All right. Final card for like, this uses for advice for us. Fall in love. Fall in love in the next few weeks. With something or someone. pulled 2, so I'm gonna take them, and I didn't see them yet. So 7 of Pentacles and 8 of Wands. That's Spades, 8 of Swords. 7 of Pentacles and 8 of Swords. Those 2 cards to me have always seemed so... I don't normally get the 8 of Swords and the 7 of Pentacles. Those cards to me seem like Libra cards, like really quiet and really passive. Like 7 of Pentacles is like, you know what 7 of Pentacles is giving? It's giving the beginning of our reading of knowing what you have and like spiritually connecting yourself to it. It create tethers and roots for it. Oh my god, yes, I need to get some. So there's a ritual we're doing. I talked about it in the last video I made, which I have to share with you guys. I didn't get to I have my pen. I didn't get to share it on my like Instagram for you to know that I posted a new video. But it's about protecting yourself, like three to 6, I think, unconventional ways of cultivating protection. And so I briefly talked about this ritual that we're starting on Friday. It's called Protect, without the vowels in the word. It's a protection ritual. And I kept saying, like, so 1 year, this month makes 1 year of sacred moon rituals. It's crazy, right? I remember it, and I'm so happy that I have this point in time, and I'm gonna share it more because it's a good time. Like, just celebrate your wins, bro. Celebrate them. But last year we did a cord cutting, but I said I was gonna do a cord cutting this year because we just did one in July. And I'm like, it's too soon. And I'm also like, I don't feel like cutting any cords. Like, what's here is here, and what's here that doesn't need to be here will find its way the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? But I said, let's do a cord connecting this time. Not cord cutting, cord connecting. I have to remember that. Put it in the outline. I can't find my pen to write it down. Cord connecting. And so this is what we're talking about. Connect the cords to your abundance. Like, create sound roots, create the spiritual connection to what you already have. And then the 8 of Swords is like, 8 of Swords always comes out to me like mental bondage, but you know what it's giving right now? And I'm glad that I'm alchemizing what I already knew or what I already created in my mind about the card. It's giving ancient knowledge, because 8 is like karmic, 8 is infinity, 8 is wisdom, 8 is Capricornic, and Capricorn is like hardworking, old man type of energy. And I mean like old ancient man, not any other, you know, old ancient man tradition. And maybe if we're talking about old ancient man, like how I said in the beginning, that's representative of the old like dogma that we've been living under, the old systems that we've been, you know, following and sustaining that haven't been working for us, right? The lighting got so weird. I'm so sorry. You know, we can take lessons from that space. Like, it doesn't have to be completely like removed or destroyed or dismantled. You can take that energy and what you're supposed to do, which we're talking about actually, is taking it, alchemizing it, focusing on transmuting it to a space where it's beneficial to the progression. Humility, be humble. Up until a certain point, like, don't be foolish, like, don't downplay yourself so hard in the name of humility. Like, no. The sun is not out here like, let me like be a little bit like, you know, pull back a little bit and chill, cause I'm mad bright, you know, like I'm too bright. people have to put shades on, they have to wear sunscreen. Like, let me, like, no. The sun is going to come out and burn your ass every day. It's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to give what it needs to give. I like this. This is a beautiful transition into the new season, Scorpio season. I'm so excited about that. This reading was great as fuck. I hope that it resonated with you, and I hope that, you know, you got something. I'm so sorry, excuse me. You got something from it. Like burping. You got something from it. Oh my god. I forgot I was making tea. So I was thinking to myself, like, I'm burping, and I'm like, have I filled my body with anything? I'm like, oh my god, I was making tea. It's hot now. But yeah. I hope something made sense for you. Take what resonates, expand upon it, leave what doesn't for somebody else. Comment below, let me know what you think. I love it. And yeah, this month we're heading to Salem. Like, that's how excited I am. I'm like, calm the mind. It's a lot of swords here too. Calm the mind. Work on calming the mind. Same way that we're creating groundedness, like create present mindedness. That's like the mental groundedness. It's being present mind. And yeah, I'm so excited. We're so excited. Everything is wrapping up beautifully. We're getting like the last touches together. I was working on the itinerary last night, and I have to work on typing it up. I'm so excited. So excited. You know, so funny. I'm like, so, you know, when we do the readings, like, when I said that the God is love and forgiveness is like the higher frequency, like energy that we should be more so prioritizing rather than like vengefulness, right? And this is for the week, so like this energy is like starting now and just like growing into itself. It will peak and then it'll come back down, and then we'll be back again for another weekly intuitive reading. But and so I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, I don't have the space in myself to forgive right now, but I need to work on it. So like, that's the thing. If you don't feel it right now to do certain things or to channel certain energies, that's fine. But the guides, the spirits, the gods, I was gonna say gods, like gods, the gods, the gods, the angels, your ancestors, all divine like channeling of messaging for you is literally giving you what to focus on. So channel that, you know what I mean? Work on channeling it, and give yourself grace, because it's a lot. It's a practice. You have to find your rhythm and your flow, make it make sense for you, and then, you know, like channel it that way and work through it that way. It takes time. It takes like real like hermit mode type shit in your own mind, in your own reality, focusing on your own energy, you know what I mean, so that you can cultivate this and create this, and then you can live it. There's all these cards are literally single people. The Emperor is there alone, the Knight of Cups is there alone, the Page of Cups is there alone, the Queen of Swords is alone, the Nine of Pentacles is alone, the Ten of Cups is alone, the Five of Swords, he's alone. Even the Wheel, whatever the hell this energy is right here. The dark side, the Akashic record, the ancient, whatever it is, it's by itself. Seven of Pentacles always gives me the energy of like internal like soul work, like alone. I'm thinking of the song. I hate this song. Why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Do 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 do. That TikTok stuff. But I think I hate it because it's like a TikTok song. So annoying. But I like the lyrics. I'm gonna look them up. Because I don't know the words. All I know is, why you gotta be so rude? Don't you know I'm human too? Alright. Oh, let me do this really quickly. I lost one, or my twins lost one. I love losing my things. But it's my my elemental dice. So I have a green one. I'll probably buy another pair. Or a set. Let's see who we get as the final like pull. I'm just like gonna pull so many cards. 10 and that's Mercury, I think. Let me find out. Hold on. Yep, Mercury. 10 and Mercury. Another 10, which is beautiful. So there's a nice completion happening. And Mercury. Mercury just left retrograde. Left his retrograde. And I'll talk about that another time because it's important. But Mercury and 10. High level communications. Open your mind. Pay attention to your dreams. Try to write them down. I need to do that too. Say what you mean what you say. Sometimes you have to say anything at all. Stand up for yourself. Alright. Happy intuitive reading. Happy full moon in Aries. Happy Scorpio season. Happy Samhain. We're gonna talk before that though. Happy Samhain. Happy October. Everything. See you on the other side.